Macca's Guides.
Hey guys, Mac here playing Trials Fusion. This is the squirrel guide for the first 10 out of 20 squirrels available in the game. Squirrel number 1 on the track Waterworks. You're going to come to this checkpoint. Now once you're at this checkpoint, you're going to want to back up onto this ramp. Make sure you hit the ramp hard enough for it to fall here. Sometimes the physics won't make it fall all the way, so keep that in mind. Just keep backing up. You will need to lean back a little bit in order to get traction on your back tire to take you all the way to the top. Now once you're on this ladder, lean forward and use a little bit of your gas in order to dunk your back wheel into the water. Once your back wheel goes into that water, you'll see the sign in the top right corner of my screen in a second here. It has changed to a squirrel, whereas before it was, I believe, a picture of a bike. Now all you'll need to do is complete the level. So I'll just quickly fast forward through the level here so you know exactly what to do. Make sure not to fault. If you do fault, I'm not sure, it might override and you might have to redo that ladder part. If you just wait a few seconds after the end of this map, right here, there will be a large explosion and the squirrel will reveal itself at the top of the level. Squirrel number 2 out of 20, this one is on Observatory. You're going to come up this big red ramp. Now you'll see a slow snail sign. Make sure you go very, very, very slowly and then approach the ramp in front of you. You'll hear a ding sound, and once you hear that ding sound, start going back and you'll see that snail sign has changed into a squirrel sign. Now what you're going to want to do is just roll backwards and keep rolling back. Make sure you keep your balance. Feel free to use your brake or your gas in order to slow down so you don't fall off your bike. But eventually, once you make your way back about 3 or 4 checkpoints, you will find the squirrels in this small body of water at the bottom of the hill. Now moving on to number 3, this one is on the Cliffhanger map. We are doing the maps in basically normal order of how they appear in the actual game, so you'll want to keep that in mind. This is near the very end of the level. You're going to want to get to the second to last checkpoint and then just go up the ramp, get some speed backwards, and roll onto this road. Now once you're on this road, cinematic will start after about maybe 10 to 15 seconds, and the cinematic will last about a minute to a minute and a half, and a squirrel will reveal itself near the end of this cinematic, so just keep waiting and waiting and waiting. There is a small spoiler if you don't want to look, just fast forward into the video a little bit to the next squirrel, and once the squirrel reveals itself right here, you will unlock it. Now moving on to number 4, which can be found on Ski or Ride. The first step, you're going to want to get to the first checkpoint to trigger it. Next up, you're going to want to back up and get a little bit of speed and then bail out going off this ramp. Now to bail out, you can either press the Y button, or I believe it's the triangle on the PlayStation, and you're going to need to aim your character to get perfectly into that ski lift. And once he's inside this little gondola, you're just going to want to wait, watch the cinematic, and you will see a squirrel kind of kill you, I guess. And once he does that, you will get the little notification in the top right of your screen. As soon as you get the notification, you're free to back out and go to the main menu. Now moving on a little bit further, number 5, this one's on Shear Pressure. This one's almost near the very end of the map, so just take your time going through the map. You can fault as many times as you want, although it doesn't really make a difference. Now this is the second to last checkpoint. Go up this ramp very, very slowly. You're going to want to land on the pipe right there, which will shoot you up and then bail out forward, and you're going to need to fly beyond the finish line into this large crater, and once you fall inside, it will reveal your squirrel. The only bad thing about this one is you only get one chance, and if you screw it up, you will need to restart the entire level to get to the end again to allow you to use that pipe to shoot you up. Number 6, Skyscraper Showdown. You're going to come to basically the very, very end of the map. This is the last checkpoint right here. So once we trigger this checkpoint, take your time to roll off this ramp and then pop a wheelie and shoot forward. And if you shoot far enough, you will fly into this like spaceship, and the squirrel will pick you up and you'll get your 6th squirrel. Moving on a little bit further, number 7, Park and Ride. This one's not too bad. Coming up onto this checkpoint, just slowly roll off this ramp and you'll see a sign that says no bikes on the left hand side. What you're going to want to do is bail your bike and your rider into this square underneath the platform. The announcer will say that this is not a place for squirrels, or there's a squirrel conservation area. This is the exact place you'll need to do it. Now I'm speeding up the cinematic, but if you take your time and watch the cinematic, which lasts about a minute, you will unlock your 7th squirrel. and you'll need to wait for the confirmation in the top right of the screen as shows up now. Moving on to Blimp My Ride, number 8 of 20. From the very start of the level, you're going to want to back up, and you will find a small trigger here, which will turn green when you press it. Now you'll want to roll up this ramp until the lights on the ramp turn green, as they did just there. Now you want to roll backwards again and keep rolling past the button. There will be a new platform right here, and once you get to this platform, you'll spawn these small squirrel signs. They'll be littered across the map. Now what you'll need to do is you'll need to get 35 out of these squirrel signs. I think there's about 40 of them. I missed probably 3 or 4 of them and still got it. You'll need to get 35 of these. If you do fault, you'll need to redo that little section at the beginning. And once you get 35, you'll just want to finish the map. Obviously no faults like I said, or else you have to restart. And you should get a challenge as well as a squirrel. So that's the No Place to Hide challenge. Number 9, this one's on Road to Ruin. Go off from the very start, take your time off this first ramp here, and what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to bail your rider into this hole, but make sure that your ATV doesn't go in with you. This will knock off the no ATV sign and make it become a squirrel sign. Now after that, just press B or the circle button in order to respawn your rider. Keep going through the map and this will happen. This is a staged event once you unlocked the previous step, and the squirrel warp will appear directly in front of you. That should be 9 of 20. Moving on to number 10, this is on Stormtroopers. This one's pretty straightforward. Just go up onto this small metal ramp, trigger the first platform. This will also trigger a sign in the background to change. It's quite hard to see the sign because of how much sand is in the way, but if you get to that first checkpoint, it will happen. Now you're just going to want to roll back and keep rolling back all the way up this hill. You might need to lean back in order to get your tires to have traction again. And once you get to the very, very, very back of the map, it will trigger your 10th squirrel, and you can back out of the map as soon as you get the notification. Now for the second part of the squirrel guide, I will have a menu right here. Feel free to click the screen. I'll make sure there's an annotation on the screen as soon as I have the video up. Also, there will be a link in the description for mobile users, or you can just check my channel or the Trials Fusion playlist here. Make sure to subscribe, leave a comment if you liked the video, and don't forget to like it if you found it useful. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and hopefully, I see you next time. Peace.